We had to sort of change to a BYOD device kind of system at this school. And look, a lot of that's problematic, and a lot of teachers end up not sort of having lesson plans that necessarily go down that path, because a lot of students in the class won't bring devices or can't bring devices. Some of them, I think, might not be able to afford them, or if they can bring them, by period 3 and 4, because they can't charge them at school. So then the battery's kind of wasting, and then you're not really sure whether that lesson's going to be foolproof, so you've got to have like a plan B. No teacher wants to do a whole lesson plan and then also another whole lesson plan in case you don't have a device. So that kind of limits things a fair bit. And then by period 5 and 6, forget it. Like half the class has not got laptops that are charged properly. So that makes it, I think, a little bit more difficult as well. There are, I think, maybe some subjects use the electronic devices maybe more than others. I know for English, we use it for research, for oral presentations and stuff like that. Occasionally someone might do a Kahoot or some other type of, educational game or something like that. I'm using them at the moment, for example, in Year 7 English with the SEAL class, and the students have to, research a couple of those stories and write some stuff about it. But in general, we don't actually really use it that much because, I know that it's going to be sort of complicated in that way. So compared to other schools, I think, and there might be some other schools who are not using them at all, but from what I know, there are some where it's compulsory to have your device in every class. I like the discussion aspect of things. I like them writing and, by hand and reading books, because I just feel like that's, part of the issue of students not being as communicative or not being able to kind of interact with people as well as they used to because of devices. Yeah. So then I think it would be quite detrimental to them to be on their devices pretty much every night, all night when they get home, which is what they tell teachers that they're doing. Yeah. And then to sort of come to school and be on devices all day as well. I mean, I can't imagine what kind of sort of damage that does to things like eyesight, concentration spans, interpersonal skills, that kind of stuff. So I think for English specifically, because it's a speaking and listening subject as well, and, a reading and writing subject, I think it's important that they, sort of have a really good balance of those things as well. And I mean, they tell me, I ask them, why do you look so tired? And they're like, well, I was up until, whatever time playing Fortnite or whatever the game of the month is. And they are on their devices, honestly, a lot of them till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And then they get up at 7 or whatever it is to come to school. And then imagine if they were on devices pretty much for the rest of the day. And a lot of them sit out in the yard at recess and lunchtime and they're on their phones. Yeah. They're sitting right next to their friends and they're on devices.